Getting started soon. Toss any links to cool stories into the Discord.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I am here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing today? I am doing good. I don't know if you're familiar with the Pacific Northwest, but we are entirely under fog right now. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I love it. It's great. There's just fog everywhere out that window, and I just could not be happier. It really does make me feel good. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I am here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing today? I am doing good. I don't know if you're familiar with the Pacific Northwest, but we are entirely under fog right now. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I love it. It's great. There's just fog. Boop. Okay. On my one of my little windows, so I can see what's on the stream, didn't get muted. So I was hearing myself, and you heard me twice, which is double good. Does that count as 2 views? I doubt it. Come on, YouTube, catch up. So anyway, yeah, I'm here to feel the politics with you, and there are so many politics to feel tonight. So many politics to feel. It really is. There's a lot going on, and if you want to tell me what to talk about, you can do so. Go to that Discord right there. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. Leave links in the stream links place and tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me what I ought to talk about. Hi, Valor. How you doing? My 69th subscriber or follower right there. Reddit binge kept me up until your stream, so I thought I'd pop into the center myself. Not in the center. Okay. Yeah. Hi. How's it going? Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So yeah, so many politics to feel tonight. I'm going to probably start off with, do we want to start off with Hunter Biden or with Rage Bait YouTube? A friend of mine, so let's do Rage Bait YouTube. A friend of mine sent me this this YouTube video. It's like 5 years old already, sure, but it has 31 million views, and it's about economics and the American dream and all that crap. So I watched it, and it made me so angry. I hated it. I hated every minute of it. It was terrible, and it's, why am I watching it? Because I think it would be fun. Must watch. Yeah. Let's watch it. Let's go over to here. And, well, it made me angry because everything that the guy was saying was wrong. So we're going to go there, and he's part of the problem and blaming you for being the problem. Window capture, turn it on as usual in the capitalist fashion. He's wrong, but he's blaming you and your attitude. But we'll get to that. We'll get to it. So this is some of that motivation crap you see on YouTube all the time, where it's motivational YouTube. It's not super cool. They tell you, they get you excited about being rich and crap, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's never any good. And let's just watch it. Let's see. Ready, go.
Do the rich people cringe and say, "Don't tell them that, Robert"?
Yes. Don't tell people what you know.
Right.
What are you doing?
Keep them poor.
Keep them poor, is what he said. Keep them poor.
My father was the head of education, PhD, all that stuff. I go home and ask him, said, why don't we learn about money in school? And he looked at me and says, because the government doesn't let us teach that subject.
The government doesn't let us teach about money in school. Dun, dun, dun. When this guy says money, he means investment firms. He means speculative investment on the stock market. No, they don't teach that in elementary school, you fucking goober. They do teach you how to count dollars and change and stuff like that. And when you're in high school, they generally teach you how to pay bills and how the government somewhat works. But right off the bat, the government doesn't allow us to teach you things. This guy aggravates.
The government tells us what we can teach and what we can't teach. And I thought that was strange. And I said, but aren't we going to school to learn about money? He says, no, your job is to get a job.
Yes, your job. The education system is to educate you to be a part of the society, which requires you to have some sort of employment.
But you get a job to earn money. He goes, no, you're supposed to just get a job. And I went, no.
So you shouldn't just get a job. Wait, I don't know where he's, okay, anyway.
Isn't the purpose of a job to earn money? He goes, you're correct. I said, so why don't I just learn about money? I can skip.
Why why don't I learn about money? I can skip the job part. Boss, what are you talking about? Nobody does nothing and gets paid for it, except for the uber rich who own things, then just make money off of that. He wants to skip the job part. He wants to skip the effort. He wants to skip the work that is required for success. He wants to skip all that. And he's upset that the American government education system didn't tell him how to skip all the work. I don't know.
Skip the job part, you know. And he got flustered and he said, if you want to learn about money, why don't you ask your best friend's father about money? And I said, why? That's Mike. So why ask him? He says, because Mike's father is an entrepreneur.
Oh, apparently entrepreneurs don't do any work but get money. Okay, great. You're not making me like this capitalism system anymore.
And I said, what are you? He says, I'm an employee. I'm a government employee. I went, oh, what's the difference? He says, the difference is an entrepreneur must know about money, or they're no longer entrepreneurs.
I don't know. Some of them are kind of full of shit and don't know what they're talking about.
And he says an employee doesn't have to know anything about money because the government will take care of them, the company will take care of them.
In exchange for the work that they do. Like, he's like, oh, these stupid idiot workers, these stupid workers. If they were just entrepreneurs, they would have all the money and not have to do any of the work. Well, then who would do the work, jackass?
So I'm all confused. But I took my dad's advice and I trundled over to Mike's father's office and knocked on his door and I said, hey, I'm here, 9 years old. Teach me about money. He says, beat it, kid, you know. But that's where the story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad started.
I think that's the name of the book he wrote, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
And finally, through persistence, my rich dad started teaching me about money on one condition. And that condition was he would never pay me. He says, the moment I pay you, you think like an employee. He says, that's the trap. Entrepreneurs work for free.
Oh, interns work for free. If you're giving him effort and work, which he's about to say, sorry, I probably shouldn't have paused it here, but if you give him your effort and your time and your life, and he gives you an education, that is the payment, that is the trade-off. And that's exactly what he's about to describe.
And now I'm 9 years old, my head's going cracking in half. He says, you never want a paycheck. You understand that, kid? I said, okay, I got it. And he says, well, how do I make money? He says, that's what entrepreneurs figure out. It's like, so how do I learn about money? So he would just break out a Monopoly game board. So I would
Monopoly. That's how you learn about money. And you know what? Here, listen, I'm not kidding. In 5th grade, literally an American government public school, we played Monopoly to learn about money. We really did. But this guy says the government's not allowed to do that.
work for free. I'd pick up cigarette butts and get hotels and restaurants, and I would clean and do menial tasks.
I would clean and do menial tasks. I would clean and do menial tasks, and in return, he would give me an education, which was Monopoly.
And as I got older, I started getting into office work and marketing and accounting, and I was an apprentice basically, but I always worked for free.
An apprenticeship doesn't mean you work for free. You do the work, but then you get all the experience from the apprenticeship. We used to have that a lot more often back in the old days. It wasn't you would go to work at the clockmaker or something like that. You would apprentice at the blacksmith or at the horse raising place at the ranch or something like that, and they wouldn't pay you because you're worthless. They would just make you do odd jobs, and you would learn how to do the thing, and then someday you could do it on your own, or you could take over for them and work for money and earn your own money. That's an apprenticeship. Great. That's still payment. So he didn't get paid in money for a check, no, but he got an education, which is fine. Apprenticeships are picking up popularity again, and by and large somewhat fairly paid, I hear. Yeah, and that would be fine with me. I'm not against apprenticeships. I'm against this guy lying about his apprenticeship and then saying that you're the problem with, and you're the reason you don't have any money.
He would teach me about money, but the way he taught me about money was playing Monopoly. And finally one day I got upset. I said, well, when are you going to teach me about money? He says, what do you think we're doing? We're playing Monopoly. He goes, no. What do you think we're doing? We're playing Monopoly. He says, what do you think we're doing? So I don't know. I'm teaching you about money.
Money.
And then that's when, you have one greenhouse. He says, there's many formulas for great success in money. There's thousands of them, but one of the best ones is found on the game of Monopoly. It still is today. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. I said, what? He says, one of the greatest ways to acquire great wealth is playing Monopoly in real life. 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel.
Own real estate. Damn, I wish my rich dad played Monopoly with me. My poor dad played Monopoly with me, and it didn't do me any good. I'm not rich. But yeah, I love playing Monopoly. I'm great at it. My dad taught me how when I was a kid, and then we played it in 5th grade, and I did a really good job, and I whooped the floor with everybody that was there. But owning real estate isn't something you just walk into right out of high school. You have to have a ton of money to get that real estate, or work your ass off flipping cheap shit real estate into something better with all the hard work you put into it, or have lots of money and invest into it and then collect rent and then invest more.
Well, is that all there is? He goes, that's it. And he says, what do you think I'm doing? And I went, I don't know. So then he took me out and he showed me his greenhouses. And 10 years later, when I was 19, I was now in school in New York, and I come back to Hawaii, and Rich Dad had bought the biggest piece of land smack dab in the middle of Waikiki Beach. And when you go to Waikiki Beach today, you'll see the Hyatt Regency Hotel. That was his hotel.
So if you want the secret to being rich, own large amounts of land in Hawaii. This is the secret. And if you're not doing that, if you're not working towards owning large amounts of land in Hawaii, you're fucking up.
It's like the game of Monopoly.
Just like the game of Monopoly.
Acquired assets and they became bigger assets.
Acquire assets, then you collect rent and stuff like that, and then they get bigger. Yes, that's the problem, guys.
Just kept what's called an assemblage, because that property wasn't that big at the time, so he had to buy out all the small guys. Because Waikiki was a little dirt water little town.
Yeah, buy out.
So he'd buy out this shop owner and buy that shop owner. And it took him a while, but he finally assembled this large piece of property.
Who cares about that original mom and pop, probably native Hawaiian person that's got a shop there and been there for 100 years? Buy them. Buy and sell their asses.
And then he and Hyatt put up this giant hotel. It just sold for $800 million. So that's how I learned about money.
That's how I learned about money, you guys. Isn't it great? Why haven't we done that? Yeah, stay poor, number nerds.
I've had financial crashes.
Working for money and working in exchange for a paycheck. You fools, you rubes.
So I've had people stab me in the back, but they're all good because I grow from it. That's spirituality. Right? People who are afraid of making mistakes, like they teach in school, they don't ever grow, because spirituality is there's good and there's bad, there's right and there's wrong, there's up and there's down. Most people only want to be right. They only want to be positive.
Because you had enough people backing you up, support, and probably, I'm going to say this, money from when you were young, that if you made a mistake, you didn't die of starvation. Most of you're afraid to make a mistake. Well, yeah, because normal people, if they make a mistake, Robert, they starve.
Well, you can't have that. That's not reality. Well, I wasn't poor by most people's standards.
See, he wasn't poor by most people's standards. He only had a few $100,000.
But I came from a family with a poor attitude, if you know what I mean. Because rich, poor, middle class, poverty starts with a fundamental attitude. Poverty is passed on.
Your fault.
It's taught in your families.
See, it's your fault that you're poor because you think like a poor. You have been thinking like a poor, and that makes you poor.
And middle class is taught in families.
It's taught to
And so the people right now who are sitting at home, who are struggling financially or worried about money or unhappy, they may be making a lot of money, but unhappy with what they're doing, it was probably taught to you. You know, your super ego was taught, get a job, work hard, or you'll never be rich, or the rich are evil, or whatever. The school system will never teach you about money. The school system was designed to teach you to be an employee, which is important, or a doctor or a lawyer, a specialist, but never about money. And what most people lack is real business knowledge, like accounting, like debt, like taxes.
There's no school you can go to learn accounting, apparently, or business, or taxes. What is he saying? You literally go to college for those things. You become an accountant. You go to college to become an accountant. You go to college to become a tax specialist. You go to college to become a business major. You major in business. And he's like, there's no school that teaches that. What?
You got to know that stuff, but they don't teach it in school to anybody.
They don't teach accounting to anybody. This guy's amazing.
So, and then when people ask me, how did your rich dad learn this when your poor dad, a PhD, didn't? And the answer is very simply, my rich dad, who's my best friend's father, his father died when he was 13.
So poor dad has a PhD. Rich dad doesn't and has more money. That makes sense because PhDs aren't about making money. PhDs are about discovering or studying and learning new things or challenging what has already been learned. If you found some new novel way to challenge, the theory of relativity or Ohm's law or something along those lines, you could actually write a PhD dissertation trying to prove Ohm's law incorrect. And that would be a good use of your PhD time, even if you failed. PhDs aren't about making money. Yeah, what esoteric hidden knowledge of accounting. No one knows how it's done. You can't learn it in school. You have to learn accounting by doing, and you have to fail sometimes. Yeah, 10 past 11, you're right. Nerds will just stay poor.
So his rich dad had this family business at 13 to run. So he had to drop out of school, which was his blessing. There's blessings, and sometimes a blessing doesn't look like a blessing, but it turned out to be a blessing. And then his teachers became his bookkeeper, his accountant, his attorney, his banker, his real estate agents.
So he did an apprenticeship and then took over the business. That's fine. That doesn't make you better. That doesn't get us learning. It doesn't get us a PhD. That's why he doesn't have a PhD. PhDs are good things for us to learn and grow and become smarter. But real estate, that's where the real fucking money is. That's what.
So he has what I call real teachers. Not these
teachers.
fake teachers in school.
Fake teachers.
You see, most teachers in
fake teachers in school that don't teach you how to count.
School, they're out of ethics. They teach subjects they themselves don't practice. I asked the teacher, I said, I'm in my third year of calculus now. It was called strength.
Third year of calculus. Bro, third year of calculus. You don't get to your third year of calculus by accident. Motherfucker, you have to sign up for that. Okay? I did not go. So is he talking? Let him finish this story. Then I'm going to rant about this.
Strength of materials. I said, am I ever going to use this stuff? He goes, no. I said, why do you teach it? He says, because I get paid. I said, do you ever use it? He goes, no.
Third year of calculus before he figured out the calculus was fucking worthless unless you're going into a specific PhD or math degree. First of all, this could not have been high school, right? I literally graduated high school without ever going to calculus. It was something that was offered, but it was not required. So if you were good at math and you wanted to do some prep work before you go to college and you're going to have to do the math, you can do that in high school. Calculus. There's no fucking way. This guy is at his 3rd year of calculus in high school. That doesn't even make any sense. There wouldn't be any students left in that class. It would just be him and the professor because no one else would do it. That's insane. So this has got to be college, right? That's what I'm thinking. There's no possible way he's talking about high school. So college. Do they just... I've never been, but I need somebody who has been to college to explain to me. Do they just randomly sign you up for classes and you have to show up? Or do you pick what you take? Do you look at a plan of what classes are needed for this certain degree and then do those classes? And then you have some leeway, some flexibility within the ones you choose. You have to do 2 maths and you have to do 2 Englishes or something like that. And you pick which ones you want. And this guy apparently picked calculus for the 3rd fucking year before he realized, this is dumb. I'm never going to use this. Maybe he started learning calculus in 8th grade. Maybe. But that would make him a nerd and that would make him poor. But he's not poor 10 past 11. Remember, he is rich and he can't. That means he can't be a nerd by transitive properties. So 15-year-olds... Well, hell, even, 15-year-olds usually, when in 9th grade, when they start learning about algebra, immediately say, this is worthless, this is stupid, I hate it, there's no possible way I'm ever going to use any of this algebra. They all know that. If this guy got through all of that math, all of the algebra, all of the geometry, into what comes before calculus? Do you have to do trig or something like that? I don't know what trigonometry is. I don't know what calculus is. But if you have to do all those first. So he went through a shitload of math before he figured out it wasn't important. He's an idiot. Or he's lying and talking shit about teachers because he hates them, which is also a possibility. He could be completely lying his ass off right here and never took a single fucking calculus class, or he took it once and he's bragging that he's in his 3rd year because he needs to sound smart for this fucking interview. 3 years of calculus are prerequisites for your real estate degree. Well, not according to the calculus teacher. The calculus teacher said this is worthless and you don't need to know it, and I don't even like it.
And that's why, you have to, in life, one of the things I suggest to people, you got to find a real teacher versus a fake teacher. And a fake teacher is somebody who doesn't do what they teach. And a real teacher is doing what they teach every day. So
how do you... Okay, so like you want them to do all the work of an accountant and teach somebody? That's an apprenticeship. Fine. I'm on board for apprenticeships, but like that takes up a lot of your fucking time, man. And you're not getting paid for it. I mean, if you're apprenticing someone, you're there doing the menial tasks for you. This guy wants to go back to the Gilded Age. He really does. This guy wants to go back to serfdom. He wants you to be poor, and the best of the poor people can go and apprentice at the blacksmith or at the castle, and he's in charge of the castle because he owns the castle, obviously.
Accountants, my attorneys, they're in it every single day. That's how I learn, because every day I'm solving problems in my business.
They don't have time to teach you if they're doing their job. If your attorney has enough time to teach you, he has enough time for a second job.
So I have accountants and attorneys and bankers and all these people on speed dial because I'm solving problems with my team.
I see you giving this knowledge out, and
Yeah.
do the rich people cringe and say, don't tell them that, Rob?
Yes. Don't tell people what you know.
Right.
Keep them poor. But unfortunately, the poor, as was in the Bible, I'm not real religious, the poor will always be amongst us. Because it starts up here.
Right, it's that fear mentality.
The fear mentality is what keeps you poor. The fear mentality, you hear? That's what keeps you poor. Does doing a bunch of fentanyl every day make you a pharmacist? Yes. I can't wait for my kid to be a chimney sweep. Yeah, I know. Well, if that's what you're teaching him to be.
It's in their words, and the words become flesh. Again, I'm not really religious. I flunked out of Sunday school also.
I flunked out of Sunday. They don't. give grades in Sunday school. See, esoteric knowledge, right?
But when they say I can't afford it or I can't do that, they go down. They become what they say. My PhD daddy says, what do you think I am, made of money? I can't afford that. And my rich dad would say, that's why he's poor. Poor people say, I can't afford it, I can't do that, I don't have time. Because
the esoteric knowledge, see, if you think you're poor, you are.
this is an escape. It's an escape. You know what I mean? It's easy to say, I can't afford it.
And your rich dad used to say what instead of, I can't afford it?
How can I afford it? How can I do that? You know, what would it take? Or why should I do that?
Just basic pessimism versus optimism. Okay, I agree that if you need a thing or you want something, it's better to say, hey, how do we accomplish this, rather than immediately being negative and saying, no, don't do that. We're not going to do that. But at some point, the question, how are we going to accomplish this, becomes impossible because you don't have any damn money. You don't have any way to get any damn money, and then you abandon it. There is wisdom in learning from an expert. But you have to learn the fundamentals or just copying what someone else tells you to do. You can't improve or innovate if you don't understand the fundamentals of how they got there. A good reason you would need teachers who experiment and understand how to teach things, how to teach you how to think. That's an important part of the liberal arts education, is teaching people how to think.
He says that a question opens the mind, a statement closes the mind. See, when you say, I can't afford it, your mind shuts down and you become what you say. Rugby is a team sport, but so is soccer. The rules are different. And other people are golfers. They play by themselves. And so everybody's different. So my game financially is business, number one. Second is real estate. So what I say to young people is, you find your game.
Find your game. Okay, great. Well, your game just happens to be incredibly lucrative and you had a head start. You were born on second base and you think you hit a double. I'm not going to say he was born on third base, but he was born on second base. He was doing quite well to begin with. His father's a PhD. Is your father a PhD? Any children of PhDs in chat tonight? Probably not. Damn it. And even when you are going for a job, when you are becoming an employee, it's necessary to have the PhD. The PhDs get paid more. I keep getting less money for my jobs because I don't have a degree. Play the money game by Hasbro. Yeah, I have the highest education of my family. Yeah, exactly. And you make more if you have more education. This guy, his poor dad still had a PhD, which is something to be proud of. Honestly, that's something you ought to be happy about. You got to say, hey, look, he did all this hard work and he made some sort of effort to further human knowledge. That, I think, is far more honorable, far better for us as a society than the guy who collects rent on 4 greenhouses and 1 hotel. Fuck that guy. He's making me very unhappy with the capitalist system that we have going on. And it's only going to get worse because let's look at the news. What's going on in the news? And so what happened? That was just a YouTube video that a friend of mine sent me, and he said, hey, you're going to hate this. And I was right. I did hate it. And it proves that the entire American economy is based on buying and selling each other's houses. I hate that. I wish it wasn't true, but it is. PhD walked into my office. I said, scram, nerd. Good job, 10 past 11. What does he know? He's just got a PhD. He's never been apprenticed to a landlord before. So how could he possibly know anything? He's never copied the work of an accountant. So how could he even know how to do any of those things? Well, that video broke the internet. Why? This is the first time I've heard of him. Yeah, no, it broke the internet. A little bit of bait title there. I don't title bait that hard, but that one did. It broke the internet. How am I even speaking to you if the internet's broken? Busted. Myth busted. Doesn't he own any silver or gold mines? There you go. Own a diamond mine. A diamond mine. That's how you should get rich. That's the way everybody else does it. And if you haven't done that, you're an idiot. What a loser. But don't worry. I'm sure being poor will be illegal soon. As soon as we get Trump's pick for the FBI director, promoted a bogus supplement to reverse vaccines. So this is Kash Patel. He is a huge piece of shit. He's a liar. He's a criminal. He's a scam artist. Honestly, top to bottom, scammer. This guy is a scammer. All day, every day, nonstop, forever, scamming. ABC, always be scamming. That's what it stands for. ABC, always be scamming. Let's see. Kash Patel has posted about a supplement line that claims without evidence that it can help people detox from your COVID vaccine. So you remember that COVID vaccine that you got that poisoned you? He sells some snake oil that will make it go away. Always bees camming. I like that, fella. It's very nice. Kash Patel, Trump's pick for the FBI director, promoted a supplement company that claims that people detox from COVID vaccines. The company is one of many trade on unfounded anti-vaccine beliefs. COVID vaccines have overwhelmingly been shown to be safe, and no supplement has been found to alleviate side effects. Let's see. So, yeah, he's just awful. Kash Patel promoted a supplement line. Great. mRNA detox. He doesn't know what the word mRNA is. He doesn't know what detox means. He doesn't care. He says the magic words. You give him money, and he gives you sawdust. Spike the Vax ordered this home run kit to rid your body of the harms of the vax. He wrote another. It's not clear whether he posts were paid promotions or they're not labeled as such. Spike protein detox protocol. SPDP. Spike protein detox protocol. It's because he's got the magic words there. Spike protein. This is what all the anti-vaxxers were terrified of. The spike protein that was going to shred your DNA. It was insane. It was stupid. None of them had any science to back them up, but they didn't need science. They had feelings. They felt like this thing was going to destroy their DNA. Let's see. He also said something else. Let me find the video. I didn't get the video ready because I suck at streaming and I'm bad at this job. But let's do Kash Patel FBI closure. He did like a video. Okay, here we go. Let's find it. This is it. Here we go. I'm not too bad at this job. Let's move this over. Let's listen to his plans for the FBI. Reminds me of the true meme companies. Capitalism is good for you. All companies pick the kid with the science fair project. How much sawdust can I add to Rice Krispies before people notice? Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's selling you. He's selling you the sawdust supplements. That's what he's giving you. All right, here we go.
Speaking of his intentions for the FBI, Kash Patel told us what he wants to do on day one. Let's listen.
I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopening the next day as a museum of the deep state.
The Museum of the Deep State. Folks, he's on to something here. He knows about the deep state.
And I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops.
He wants them to chase criminals. Stop investigating crimes. Stop looking into what happened, why, gathering evidence and looking through bank records and security cam footage to prove things in a court, and go chase them through the streets. Because he thinks that criminals are just running rampant in the streets. That's the only crime that these guys ever give a fuck about. They don't give a shit about stealing from somebody's 401k. They don't care about a bank stealing from their customers. They don't care about a white collar a business owner stealing from his workers' pension funds. That's not crime. Crime is when people with dark skin steal shampoo out of Target. That's crime. That's what needs to be chased down, according to him. The homeless guy sleeping on the corner, that's crime that needs to be stopped and harmed, and he needs men with guns to go and stop that.
We're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure that out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice.
He's coming after the media that told you Donald Trump didn't win in 2020. Come and get me, Kash. Kash Patel. Come and get me. Donald Trump did not win in 2020. Joe Biden did not cheat. You're a QAnon lunatic. Come and get me. And then when you kick in my door, I'll live stream it if I can, and I'll sit right here, and then the brown coats will come up, and they will put me in handcuffs, and then I'm going to need chat. I'm going to need chat. Everybody in chat, I'm going to need you to get hashtag Where's Waldo trending, because it fits. It all comes together. Where's Waldo? Oh, he's in the gulag. So you guys get that going. Where's Waldo? And man, he must be well in the deep pocket. Yeah. Well, he's... How is this a popular guy's little kid logic? The right loves that shit. That little kid logic is great for them. They love simple ideas. The FBI is too complicated for Kash Patel to comprehend. He thinks that those 7,000 FBI agents are sitting around collecting checks for doing nothing. He doesn't think that you need to do paperwork to catch criminals. He doesn't think that evidence is a thing that needs to be wrangled and found, and you don't have to investigate crimes. You show up when bad people are doing bad things and then you stop them. That's how he thinks the FBI should operate. And it's insane. It's absolute nonsense. What happens when you get robbed and somebody runs across a state line? It becomes an FBI issue at this point. But they won't be there to help you. So if Kash Patel gets in charge, he empties out the FBI. I'm just absolutely suggesting that everyone do a bunch of crimes and then run across the state line. No FBI anymore. I don't know, what are they going to do? The entire court system is going to fall apart. The entire law enforcement system is just going to collapse. And we're going to have, and then Donald Trump's going to look into the camera and tell you, Joe Biden did this with his inflation. This was Joe Biden's inflation. The FBI has ceased to function. They have collapsed. We can no longer prosecute crime if it goes across the state line. We're going to have to create posses and local lawmen who have guns, and they know what the law is, and they'll just they'll do fine. I'm sure it'll be great. They don't need to report to anyone. They don't need to be checked. They don't need to be investigated and found out if they're following the laws. No. The good old boys will just know the law and kill you if you try and do anything wrong. And this is because of Joe Biden's inflation. That's what's going to happen. What is QAnon? Oh, you don't know? I hope you're kidding. Paperwork is for nerds, PhD nerds, and the paperwork. Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm on Team Nerd. 10 past 11. You're right. I'm on Team Nerd, and I don't know what if there's anything I can do about it. I'm on Team Nerd, and the paperwork is nerd shit, and I like it. The counting all the ballots, that's nerd shit, and I like it. The FBI investigating crimes and then using the DOJ to prosecute people, that's nerd shit. I know, I get it. It's not fun. It's way more fun to just round up the boys into the posse and go ride your horse and then chase down the bad guy and shoot them and lynch them, maybe, if they stole your horse. Okay, unless you're wrong, in which case, yeah, who cares? We lynched somebody. That's the point. That's the important bit. Quick trial. Yeah, exactly. A quick trial. If somebody accuses you of a crime, you either have to kill the entire posse that comes to capture you, proving by combat that you did not commit the crime, or they catch you, they string you up, and they hang you with no trial. It'll be great. The good old Salem style trial. Well, I'm thinking more. I'm thinking Old West. I'm thinking cowboys on their horses with their hats.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Judy Stroyer, I appreciate you following. You just turned a frog gay. I hope you're proud of yourself. Yeah, and then they'll lynch you and they'll hang you from a tree. It'll be a good time, and that'll be the law. That'll be the judicial system. Is somebody said you stole their horse, then we hung you. I don't see Kash Patel does not see a problem with that. I would prefer the paperwork and the jury of your peers and all that boring nerd shit, but he doesn't. Okay, so and we're this is where we are within the system now. All the nerd shit's leaving. All the nerd shit's gone. It's all at the point of a gun. Every decision will just be which gun is pointing at you. Well, the posse's pointing 7 guns at me, and then the state of Kentucky is pointing 4 guns at me. Guess I'm going to go with the state of Kentucky. I don't know. It's going to be bad. Wasn't Salem basically the most Wild West times? Salem was the 1800s, but that was on the that's up on the East Coast. It was cold and it was dark, and they all dressed Elizabethan, and it was more like pilgrims, valor, not cowboys, more pilgrims, Boston kind of thing, not Wild West cowboys with the Salem witch trial. They had horses and they were farmers, but they weren't the shit kicking cowboy boot cattle rustling kind of old timies. So let's see, the hell, yeah, Kash Patel. He's got more. Okay, that was only a few seconds. Let's see what else he has to say. I started ranting about him, but he's got more to say.
This job requires Senate confirmation.
He doesn't have more to say. These are the CNN guys, and we're not going to listen to them because I already did a much better job than whatever they were going to say. Whatever they're going to say, I already did it better. So we're just going to skip that. And he is a QAnon fucking anti-vaxxer selling snake oil, trying to trick you into buying just anything that he can give you for cheap. And then it's gonna go really well. Trump Tap's team geared toward retribution and remaking of government. So yeah, they're gonna remake the government, and they are going to come for vengeance. You know, they're not gonna make your life better. God no, they're not gonna make things work better. No. They are here for vengeance. Trump's team reflects preference for outsiders with disruptive mentality. His picks aim to dismantle traditional government structures, but experts doubt Trump's team can achieve desired transformation. Kash Patel to lead the crime-fighting FBI brought into sharper focus the president-elect's seriousness about striking back at those he believes have wronged him. That is what Kash Patel's job is going to be. Vengeance for Donald Trump. Patel is an outspoken critic of the Bureau who has vowed to go after Trump's perceived enemies. He is coming for you if you are an enemy of his. And he's going to use the power of the state to harm you, to investigate you, to jam up your life, to drag you into court for made-up charges, to terrify you into not speaking out against God King Donald Trump. He's also the latest in the host of nominees who reflect Trump's preference for outsiders with a wrecking ball mentality over practiced Washington hands. People who could disrupt the system from the inside and transform government in a way that may be unprecedented in modern times. Not Delusional Cowboy. Hi, I'm a leftist. The Democrats are too wimpy for me. And the Republicans are too close to the far right. So I'm further left than all the Democrats. Not Delusional Cowboy fan. Thanks. Not Delusional Cowboy fan. It's a good name. It really is. I like that. Most Cowboys fans are delusional. I appreciate that. What do we got? Okay, yeah. Guess it's time to buy a MAGA hat. Yeah, just so you blend in 10 past 11. Just so that's the camouflage for when the FBI comes to get me, when the brown shirts kick in my door and try to drag me off to the gulag. I'm just going to put on a red hat that says MAGA, and then they'll be like, "Oh, carry on, sir." But then on the inside of the hat, I'm gonna in Sharpie, I'm gonna write "not." It'll be great. Psych on the inside of my hat. That way I'm not a liar, you know. I'd hate to be going against my own ethics, you know. So, what do we got? They've been chosen for their hostility to the institutions, their loyalty to Trump, their promise that they are going to shake everything up. When he says shake everything up, they mean tear everything down, I think. That's what I think they're meaning. Trump supporters say Washington needs a shakeup. That's what I'm saying. Action for action's sake. It's on the list of things that fascists do. Offline, hey, hi, thanks for coming. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you're feeling. We're complaining about Trump's picks right now. The belief many view the federal government as an unaccountable, corrupt, and self-perpetuating bureaucracy that hampers economic growth, targets citizens unlawfully, and fails to keep the country secure, because that's what the Republicans have told them. Sometimes these things could be true, but on the whole, they're not true. Unaccountable, no. The government has lots of accounting, so much accounting that they count all the accounts, and they double check and triple check. No, that doesn't apply to the Pentagon, but most of the people who work within the government have to keep very close accounting of everything they do and all the money they spend and how they operate. They have form after form after form, and if those forms are wrong, they get in trouble. Corrupt and self-perpetuating bureaucracy that hampers economic growth. The things that are hampering our economic growth are the billionaires who want all the economic growth for themselves. Elon is far more dangerous, and Elon hampers your economic growth more than anyone in the government, more than any caravan of migrants ever has. Target citizens unlawfully. Well, that's because they target Republicans, because Republicans break the law. Often Republicans break the law, and then when they get in trouble, they cry and scream and moan and say, they're coming after citizens unlawfully. They're lying. And fails to keep the country secure. Our country is just fine, thank you. The people who are crossing the border, and there are a lot of them, are not harming you. We could document them all and give them all a pathway towards citizenship, but we don't want to do that because the Republicans want the insecurity so that they can keep running on it, so they can keep winning, so they can keep a boogeyman scaring you. Caravan, caravan, caravan. Be afraid, so that you will vote for them. Elon is a hoarder, but he's also picky as fuck, as he only hoards money. Yeah, he is a dragon, and he needs to sleep on all of the cash, you know. That belief departs from the broad bipartisan view of the federal government as a positive force that enforces and administers laws on a wide range of issues, from food safety, health, air, and water quality, and also pays out benefits to millions of older, infirm, or poor Americans. Those are some of the good things that the government does. I'm not saying that the government is perfect. I'm saying that they are not the horrible nightmare monsters that the Republicans have told you that they are. It's of the people, by the people, for the people. Let's have a debate on Discord. Let me know if I can call you. Unban Karen. Hop into the Discords. You can. I'm not going to bring you on to speak tonight, because that is how you get trolled. But if you go into the Discord, press the follow button. Yeah, exactly. See, he already said the word penis. Way to go. See, you guys, I'm onto your tricks. If you're in the Discord and you seem like a normal human being, I will let you come on and talk. But you have to go there, prove to me that you're a normal human being, and then I'll think about it. I'm on Twitch, so I won't be trolling. Then link your Twitch account, and I will look at it later. There, you can put links into the Discord, by all means. And Karen Baknia. Okay. I will take a look at that later. And let's see. What are we talking about? Not just bluster. Valor, you have proven to be a normal human being. So, yes. I would allow Valor on. Yeah, I'm pressing X to doubt, Shinsinto. Yeah, exactly. Not just bluster. Wait, you're on Twitch? Why are you chatting to me in Kick Chat? No, you're chatting to me in Kick Chat. What's wrong with you? I don't trust you at all. Now you seem even more dangerous. Yeah, watch Karen now. Oh my gosh, you guys are good at this. No, thank you. Not just bluster. Okay. During the presidential election campaign, the Trump vowed to settle scores with the Democratic opponents and perceived enemies in the government and media. He accused the Justice Department and FBI weaponizing law enforcement against him. Amazing. We're going to ban that guy. And then we're going to time it. Yeah, there we go. Hey, maybe we don't do that. Yeah, exactly. I didn't. Yeah, I knew it. I could see him. I could smell him coming. Anybody who wants to debate immediately, you don't listen to him. All right. So, what's the name there? All right. So next up, what do we got? He now has his own weapon in Patel, a former federal prosecutor and congressional aide who served as a top national security staffer in Trump's first term. Patel has compiled what critics have said is a target list of so-called deep state officials. He's got a list of deep state officials. That's not going to be somebody who's working for you. The head of the FBI is supposed to work for you to make your life better. He is supposed to improve the way the government functions, not come after Donald Trump's enemies. Let me call you as soon as possible. No. Go into my thing. I will look at your stream later, maybe. And if you go into my Discord and be a normal human being for a few days, then maybe I'll talk to you. Right now, you're not being a normal human being. Also, you're on kick. I don't trust anything that you're saying. He's a dog boy. Look at him. It's Bobo. Hi, Bobo. It's Bobo, the baby bark boy. Yeah, I know. Oh, we're just going to have to ban everybody here, aren't we? Ban that guy, and ban this guy, and ban this guy. It's just so much fun. I enjoy banning people. It's fun. It makes me feel good. It gives me a feeling of power, and you're really doing me a favor.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
You just turned a frog gay. I hope you're happy. You're in here trolling me and you're actually turning frogs gay.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Look at you, turning frogs gay. I'm on to you. He's asking his viewers to troll. That's fine. If you went over there and checked him out, that's fine. That's cool. Yeah, hop over there. Tell me what he's thinking. Tell me how cool I look. How old are you and what's your sexual preference? I am 97 years old and I prefer your dad. He's quite the bottom. I mean, your dad is a hungry, thirsty bitch. I'm just telling you. So let's keep on with the news. How about that? That's enough about Patel. Let's talk about Hunter Biden. There we go. That's what we were supposed to talk about tonight. Hunter Biden's pardon ruins a key Democratic talking point about the justice system. What do we think about this? So what do we think about good old Hunter Biden getting his pardon? Dread-headed. My name is Waldo. You can say he and him. That's fine with me. Oh, no. Let's go to delete that. We're going to ban this guy. Oh, it feels so good. I love banning people. WebFL. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to ban you. It really does. I have that power over you. And there's nothing you can do about it. You just get banned. And it just makes me feel nice. So I appreciate that. Thank you. What do we think about good old Hunter Biden here? What's with the trolls tonight? Dread-headed? I don't know, man. There are a lot of them tonight, apparently. They're all over the place. Tell us what you're thinking about this one. Too lame to make his own original content, so he has to troll other streamers. Okay, good. Nothing about Hunter Biden, and it wasn't just a Republican strategy to take him down his dad. Well, that's the thing. I think that it was a Republican strategy to bitch about him. He's not a good guy. He does drugs sometimes, and he fucks hookers, which is two awesome, based, cool things that you could do, and I wish I could do. But he is not appreciated on that side. So the Republicans were bitching and moaning about him, pissing and moaning, screaming bloody murder about him because they don't have anything real to complain about Joe Biden for other than vague, weird, boring shit about him raising the price of eggs. But how can he raise the price of eggs? He's not in fucking charge of the eggs. Doesn't make any sense. The inflation is a magic word that you can throw around at anybody you want, anytime you want. And it doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to accomplish anything. You just say inflation. Valor, you're part of the inflation. Shinsinto, you did the inflation. And you're going to fucking prove me wrong? No, you can't. It's insane. Donald Trump caused all the inflation. You can't prove that right or wrong. It's just madness. It's a feeling. It's feelings-based stuff. But Hunter Biden did do some drugs, did do some hookers, and did do some crack and some fun stuff. Yeah, Shinsinto's the one who made all the eggs go up in price. He did. And there's nothing you can do about it. And there's no way you can prove it. And there's no way you can unprove it. I've said it. I've made the accusation. So there's no way he can know. So yeah, Hunter Biden is very cool, very chill guy who does cool things, but illegal things. And because of that, they go after him because it's a sore spot. It's a black eye for Joe Biden that his son is so criminal and awesome. So they yell about it, they scream about it, they feign outrage as they usually do. They complain and pretend that they don't do drugs and fuck hookers. They do. They're Republicans. They absolutely do. But they pretend that they don't. There's the thing about Republicans. They pretend not to do the bad things that they clearly and obviously and always have done. But they go to Sunday school. They go to church on Sundays and pretend that they don't do that. That's the entire Republican ideal. Do whatever you want, as long as you can get away with it. Pay off anybody who says otherwise. Then go to church on Sunday and act like a fucking saint. And the rest of the time, and if anybody sees you, you act and pretend you're not the bad guy. It is a bankrupt, empty ideology that they push constantly. So then, because Hunter Biden got caught doing the fun things, doing the illegal things, the Republicans got to scream about it, and then they got to punch Joe in the face about it. Then they started inventing things. They started inventing the stuff with the laptop. They started inventing crimes. They put him on trial for owning a gun while using drugs. Now, most of the time, that doesn't go to trial. That happens. You know how often people do drugs while owning guns in America? Literally constantly. There is someone doing it right now. There's probably somebody watching Twitch right now with their gun while doing drugs. Usually, that you don't get. They don't usually put you on trial for that. Oh no, Christos is over on Twitch. No, now they're on Twitch too. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Who is that? You. Yeah, we're getting raided. Oh no. Where's that button? He's been banned. I have to ban everybody. Here I am talking about all the important shit, and everybody's getting banned. We're banning fools, Malcidian. Thanks for coming in. That's the game tonight. Banning fools. let's see. Hit that button too. It just makes me feel good, you guys. You can keep popping in and I'm going to keep banning you. It's fun for me. Yeah, bad trolling is a bannable offense. I agree completely. Lame trolling is a bannable offense. Work harder. Listen, guys, listen. Karen, work harder. Do better. You're piss poor, bottom rung trolling here. At least, what was that other guy? Dreadheaded at least started with a decent conversation, you know? Dreadheaded came in here and said, "Hi, how are you? How should I speak to you? Well, let's do the thing." And then he started dropping slurs, you know? At least do the first 3 or 4 first, okay? Well, at least try to act normal for at least a minute or two. So popular to attract so many nerdy. Yeah, I know. I do. It is a fun thing. And KBP's not here tonight. Of the one night I needed a fucking mod, you know, KBP's not here. I'm blaming you, KBP. This is all your fault. They were in your chat. They were in Kick Chat. There's only one fucking person who talks to 2 people. I'm sorry. There are 2 people who talk to me in Kick Chat. It's KBP and Tony. And Tony isn't here tonight, but I might make him a fucking mod anyway. You have to deserve the title of troll, not just be an asshole. Yeah, exactly. You have to work at it, guys. Listen, I hear you. You want to be trolls. You want to be cool. You want to be edgy. You want to be funny. But you have to be fun and interesting and do fun things and subvert what's going on, not just jump in and say a bunch of dumb shit. Valor, can you be a mod? Sure. I don't know how to do that, but I will. After stream, I'll put you on there for sure. Easy enough. No problem. I mean, no, you could. I don't care. You're a normal human being. Did you win the thing? You got a jackpot, Malcidian. I have to clip that and send it to KVP. Malcidian just got the jackpot. KVP, are you watching? Are you looking? He got the jackpot. He got 3 apples. You're a loser, KVP. Okay, there we go. That's the clip. I'm going to send that to KVP. He's going to hate it. He only got his first jackpot like this past Saturday, I want to say. Yeah, the trolls didn't even come in here and use any of the cool emotes. It puts crap all over my face. That's the whole point of the stupid emotes, so that you can see them flinging around on the screen and then I look stupid. And they didn't even do any of that. You guys, you're bad trolls. Sad trolls is what you are. That's okay, Valor. I welcome it. That would do. Then we could become mortal enemies. You know, I would have a rival. That's great for numbers. It really is. Having an enemy or a rival that you strive to beat. It works for a lot of other streamers. They always have beef and drama with some other streamer. Yeah, and then we'll become famous, and then we'll have camps, and our entire audience will watch both. Even though half of your audience will be hate watching you because they're my fans, and then half of my audience will be hate watching me because they're your fans. I mean, this sounds like a good plan. I'm on board. Let's get to the numbers. This is the numbers. Thomas is gone. He is in an attempt to fight against wokeism. Thomas is sequestered himself to invent new slurs. It's very cutting edge stuff. Like, he's inventing new slurs for things that you didn't know about, like color blindness. There are some people who are colorblind. There's no slur for them. So he's invented one, and they're coblos. And I was like, dude, coblo. What are you allowed to say? It's a new word. You know, he invented a new slur for them. What was the other one that he invented? So it was coblos, and there was another one. It was hang on, what was it? It's not a group of people I think about all that often. Homeless people. He came up with a new slur for homeless, and they're homelos. And that's what he calls them. He calls them homelos. And I'm like, what? Dude, you invented a new slur. Why would you do that? And he's like, to fight the woke. It's very disturbing. Brilliant use of human time. Yeah, that's right. Inventing new slur words. Homelos and coblos. Yeah, and you can still say those on stream because they haven't been turned into hate phrases yet. So, and he's always keeping ahead of the current mods and censors by inventing new slur words and stuff like that. And then eventually, I think he's got this theory where he gets so far ahead in inventing new ones that the algorithm will stop remembering the old ones, the old slurs, and then you can bring those back. Like 17th century shit that nobody says anymore. This is again to the drug code words. Yeah, you're right. If you use the new words, the cops won't be onto your shit. So, and eventually you get all the way back around to the old words, and then you're going to be using 17th century slang. It's a very complicated system that he's got set up, but it takes a lot of time and energy and manpower and brain power. And that's where he has been. He's sequestered himself. I don't want to interrupt. Like Argo, but instead of avoiding trouble, you're creating it. Yeah. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm just going to say it's true. Let's see. What the hell was I supposed to be doing? I was supposed to be talking about Hunter Biden. And now that I think all the bad trolls are gone, we can talk about Hunter Biden. Nobody has had as many things made up about them recently as Hunter Biden. The Republicans have made up lots and lots and lots of bullshit. They made a movie about him to smear him. Shouldn't we pardon him? I'm going to be brave and say yes. Did he get money and fame because of his name? Yes, he did. He got a lot of free money for doing nothing just because of his last name. That's just politics, man. He was put on the board of a company and paid because of his name. That's not good, but it is the reality under capitalism. The board at the company Burisma did not hire him because of his expertise in Ukrainian mineral extraction. God, no. They hired him because he might know a guy who knows a guy that can help their board make more money. That's just capitalism. Plain and simple. And companies are allowed to do that. Do you think that Shaquille O'Neal knows anything about actuary tables or payouts or minimum amounts of payouts that you can pay on your car insurance? No, he doesn't. But he's on TV commercials next to a cartoon general trying to sell you car insurance. This is exactly the same. That's what they did. That's what Hunter Biden did. He was their mascot on the mineral and oil company of Burisma on their board, not because he's smart, not because he knows anything, but because he might know some people and have some connections. Shaq's actually very intelligent and has finished a lot of education. Right. But even if he does know about actuary tables and insurance rates, does he need to be on that commercial? I don't think he does. Does Matthew McConaughey know anything about cars? No, but he can sit in one and try and sell it to you on a TV commercial. That's the point I'm getting at. Hunter Biden was just their commercial, just their advertising. Hunter Biden was their advertisement. Hey, look at our board of directors. We've got Hunter Biden. Yeah, that's because we're a big shot company. Don't mess with us. We're super important and we know stuff. We know people. We've got the connections. We've got the hookups because we've got Hunter Biden on our board. Is there any evidence that Hunter Biden did anything illegal while on that board? No, there's actually not. There's lots and lots of evidence that he has a huge hog and did a bunch of drugs and had sex with hookers. There's evidence of that. But that stuff isn't embezzling millions of dollars from a Ukrainian company. It's not. Doing those things, doing the drugs, doing the hookers, and having a giant piece of man meat does not actually incriminate you in stealing lots of money from Burisma, who doesn't think that they've been stolen from anyway. They're not complaining about being robbed. So why do they point it out? Because it looks like cronyism. The Republicans love cronyism, but only if they're the ones doing it. If the Dems are doing cronyism, it's illegal. You see, Republicans are allowed to do cronyism, but Dems are not. It's illegal for them. I have to throw the bone. So yeah, no, I only speak English. Sorry, boss. Let's see. So yeah, the Republicans then make up stuff about him. They lie about the laptop. The laptop. Okay, let's TLDR the laptop. Someone, we don't know who smelled like liquor, brought a laptop to a blind man. That blind man looked at the laptop to repair it. He was trying to repair it, and thought he saw Hunter Biden in the photos on the laptop, saved the laptop, and then he gave it to Rudy Giuliani. There's some flaws in your chain of custody there, boss. There really are. So they lie about the laptop. They lie about who investigated the laptop. They lie about all this shit. It was probably, and there's evidence, there's telltale signs that it was filled with misinformation, and it was hacked, and there were what's the word? Not adjustments, but there were changes to the things on that laptop to make it more incriminating, which is why you can't trust it. Go find evidence that he did any of these things outside that laptop. You won't find any. And that's the problem, which is why, pardon him, they're literally inventing crimes to accuse him of. They're putting him on trial for things that people don't usually get put on trial for. If they had video of him jaywalking, they would put him in front of a judge for jaywalking. They would. If he threw a cigarette butt into the street, they would put him in front of the fucking Supreme Court of the United States for throwing a cigarette butt into the street. Something that lots and lots of people do. Something that happens all the time, nobody gets in trouble for. Which is why I'm on board for pardoning him. Joe Biden pardoned him. Is it cronyism? Yes. Is it warranted? Yes. In this case, I really think it is. They are inventing new crimes to accuse him of. When the evidence says that he didn't do it, they investigate him again. And when the evidence comes out from that investigation that says he didn't do anything wrong, they spin up another investigation. Pardon him. Maybe, when Kash Patel and the brown shirts are in charge, they won't have a legal reason to go after him, and it will have to be supra-legal. It'll have to be some of that new invented legality that the brown shirts and the Nazis that follow Trump are going to invent. But although they had months of congressional hearings about it, it was so important because they didn't want to just drop it when Biden wasn't the presidential nominee. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I thought it was Spanish. No, that's okay. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Tell us what your hot takes are on the politics. You speak Spanish. Are you in Mexico? I've heard good things about the Mexican president. Trump pardoned like so many people practically based on the I'm president and I want them free, right? Yes. Trump pardoned... who's that guy that made 2,000 or 1,000 Mules or 2,000 Mules or something like that? And he made the Hillary movie. I forget his name. He's a propagandist who hates Hillary Clinton. He made a movie talking shit about Hillary Clinton and then later cheated on his taxes. And Donald Trump pardoned him from the tax thing because he was so mean to Hillary back in 10 fucking years ago. That's his stance on pardons. If you're good to me, you get pardoned. Doesn't matter how illegal the thing was or how obviously illegal it was or how blatantly you broke the law with no regard. He will pardon you for it. Be good to Donald Trump and he will pardon you. Doesn't matter how many laws you broke. It's a shit way to operate. It's authoritarianism. It really is. And he doesn't mind because he doesn't know what that word means. And most of the Republicans don't know what that word means either. They just think that they're right and they trust themselves. And that's the issue that I think we're coming to with all of the politics in America. They think they're right and they only trust themselves. So they don't trust anybody else. And you can't convince them that they're wrong, even though what they're doing is authoritarianism. But they honestly, I'm not kidding, Republicans who voted for Donald Trump and are happy about him having all three branches and putting Kash Patel in and putting this crazy war hawk in charge of the DOD think that they are the good guys. They really do. They think they are the good guys. They think that whatever they like is constitutional. They've never read the Constitution. That's nerd shit. And we're back to nerd shit. 10 past 11. We're back to nerd shit. Reading the Constitution, comprehending what it's about, having complicated thoughts about it, trying to determine where it applies and where it doesn't, which gray, difficult moral stances apply, how the Constitution applies to those difficult moral questions is nerd shit. They ain't got time for that shit. Nerd shit is slow and boring and not action-packed. They need decisions right damn now. You go lead with just use your gut. You'll know what's right and what's wrong by using your gut. Nah, man, that's not how that works. Have you perchance seen Zappa vid? Oh, I hadn't watched it yet, but I will. I was at work all day. That's how they feel about having Trump on top of his voters. Demographics practically prove it to be so. Yeah. I will give that a shot. I hadn't had a chance yet today. What are we doing? Okay. Fascist theocracy. Yeah, and that's where we're headed, honestly. And speaking of that, let's look at the thing here that talks about fascist theocracy. Because I think that's what's coming. Let's go look at... We're gonna slow walk towards it. Musk's real plan is starting to appear. I love nerds just shitting on nerds, the duality of man. You're a complicated guy at 10 past 11. That's why you're cool. Elon Musk's real plan is starting to appear. Musk isn't just out to make himself richer via his connections to Trump. He also wants to gut Social Security and Medicare. He knows these are the things that cost us the most money, and the government spending money is bad. Why is the government spending money bad? Shut the fuck up, Waldo. What are you doing? Why is the government spending money bad? It's not. Because they get it from taxes. Well, they're forcing the economy to function. They're giving that money to Medicaid, Medicare, the people who are old or sick or poor, and Social Security, the people who have been working their entire lives and would now like to rest and retire and be old. They're not very good at running around. They're not good at showing up to work on time. And you don't want to work with a bunch of old people. You don't. Trust me. Which is why we give them the Social Security to stay the fuck home. Honestly. And he wants to end that. He wants to be rid of it because it costs money. And he doesn't want to pay taxes. And if he doesn't want to pay taxes, he has to take control of the government and make them stop spending money. That is why people don't want the government to spend money, because they don't want to pay taxes. Of course he does. Isn't this a guy who raved on and on about universal basic income a decade earlier? Yes, he did, but that was a long time ago, before he went insane. Before he thinks that Twitter turned his daughter trans, and then he bought Twitter to stop it from turning other people trans, and became a Republican because he sexually harassed one of his workers. That's why he turned. That's all there is to it. The left was going to cancel him for sexually harassing a poor person that works for him. And we were all going to get mad at him. And everybody on the left was going to be like, hey, did you do that? Hey, stop that. Hey, you can't come to our parties. You can't be cool like us. So he jumped ship, switched trains, and he's on the right now. And now he gets to hang out with cool guys like Kash Patel and Vivek the fake Ramaswamy. He was going to get canceled. Yeah, he was going to get canceled. So he changed political parties. So yeah, he's coming for Social Security and Medicare because that is where we spend most of our money. Most of the American money goes towards Social Security and Medicare. That's a good thing. He doesn't want to pay for those things because he hates you. He does not want the old people to get this money for free because he has to pay into that money. And he does not want sick people and poor people to get medicine for free because he has to pay that money. So fuck you. That's what he's doing. And he doesn't care because he's in charge. Now, Donald Trump is ready to make Republicans touch the third rail without voting public to face again. Trump is gearing up to cut Social Security and Medicare. And he's going to. Donald Trump is going to cut Social Security and Medicare. He promised that he wouldn't, but that doesn't mean anything because promises from Trump, honestly, worthless. He lied. His proposed budget cuts, cut the program every year he was in office. He cut these things because he's a liar. Over the next 10 years, Trump's 2020 budget proposal aims to spend $1.5 trillion less on Medicaid, instead allocating $1.2 trillion in block grant programs to states. Now, what does that mean? That's some nerd shit for just give the money to the states and then the states will spend it how they fucking feel like. $25 billion less on Social Security and $845 billion less on Medicare. Some of that is reclassified to a different department. Their intentions are to cut benefits under Medicaid and Social Security. Their intentions are to cut benefits to Medicaid and Social Security. But you can't convince the Republicans that. You can't convince the people who voted for him that it's going to suck for them. They believe this top part. This is action. This is reality. But this is what he said. There will be no cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. He says, I will not cut it, that he does actually cut it. I call that lying. They call it just telling it like it is, straight shooting, talking like a regular person. They call it a lot of things. Promises made, promises kept. Wink. Exactly. Good call, 10 past 11. Promises made, promises kept. That's a lie too. It's just that proving their lies requires you to read stuff. We can't be reading things. Proving a Republican's lie requires you to know things. Man, the Americans hate knowing things. Proving a Republican a liar requires book smarts. The Americans really don't like book smarts. They don't like it. They don't like it. Proving a Republican a liar requires experts weighing the evidence. Man, the Americans do not like that shit. That's nerd shit. They hate it. We just want a guy to come in there and kick down the door and start doing things, pointing at people, telling them what to do. They just really do want the president to walk in and be like, you go do this, you go do that, you get me a cup of coffee, you're in charge of the military now, go do a good job, you go do this. That's what they think being a boss is. Walking in loudly, tall and white, and then bossing everybody around, pointing at everyone and telling them what the fuck to do. Man, you know stuff? What are you, a nerd? Exactly. I didn't raise my boy to be no nerd. Didn't let a nerd shit. So they hate that. And because they hate it, they can't ever do anything properly. They say one thing, then what happens is they start doing the things that they say, and then the experts say that, hey, yeah, if you create those tariffs, it's going to raise the prices of everything. If you move the money around on Social Security and Medicare, it's going to impact it negatively. But they don't care. Doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff is the way. And what does this lead to? Well, it leads to a lot of people having their prices going up and being broke and being poor. That's what it leads to. And when that happens, what are we going to get? I think I know what we're going to get. Donald Trump suggested Canada could become the 51st state to Justin Trudeau. But you guys ever hear of the Rhineland? It's an interesting little place. The Rhineland. You've probably never heard of it. But there was this country called Germany. They had freedom. They had this place called Weimar, the Weimar Republic. They had freedom. They had artists. They had music. They had. They were learning about trans people. They really were. They were learning about gay people. They were an open, honest society, mostly. From what I've read, I've never been there, and you can't go there either. But they had economic problems, and those economic problems caused people to lash out. And in the right wing, of their country there in Germany, were very unhappy with this. They blamed the immigrants. They blamed those trans people. They blamed the gay people. They blamed all that freedom for their actual problems. And then they mobilized and became like a whole ass party. And then they got a charismatic shithead elected, who then broke the rules and started creating new courts. And you could go to jail for committing crimes, but you could also get put up in front of a court for being not patriotic enough. They invented like a governmental justice department. Then they took the Rhineland. So I think I am actually kind of worried that we're following exactly in those footsteps. It's like when Trump walked into the crowd at the G20 part of the crowd and adjusted his jacket for the camera. Yeah. That's the Rhineland right there. We're looking at it. What if this is the Rhineland? What if this is where he goes? Because we're following in the same footsteps. Donald Trump, we have a liberal fucking country in America. You have the gay marriage, you have the transes, you have all the freedom, you have the liberties, but the people on the right hate it. The conservatives hate it. They blame the transes for the economy. They blame the immigrants for the economy instead of Jews, like in World War II. They blame the immigrants. They blame the transes instead of the Roma. They blame the liberals. They blame all these people who are using the freedom the way that they want to. And then they get this charismatic idiot in charge who does fascism and action for action's sake. And then he starts gobbling up other countries, other people's land. History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. Yeah. So what if this is our Rhineland? What if Donald Trump says, hey, you guys, shouldn't we, make a 51st state there, or in Mexico? Honestly, that too. I was talking about it with some friends the other day. Did I talk about this on stream? I don't remember. That Donald Trump might just steal like the Baja Peninsula of California and say that it's ours now, or snag up a whole bunch of Mexico and then say, well, listen, okay, so, and he'll steal it by Sharpie. Yeah, he'll use a Sharpie to just say, well, this is now America. That's what he's going to do. I did talk about it. Okay, I wasn't sure if I was just jibber jabbering about it on Discord with some people, or I actually talked about it on stream. I couldn't remember. The law of action and more action. Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of them blame the small hats, the tiny hats that the Jewish people wear, the yarmulke. Is that why they did it? That's weird. I don't want to blame them for their hats. I don't think their hats had anything to do with it. I'm gonna be brave here and say that I don't think the yarmulkes were the problem. I don't think they were. Okay, yeah. So Donald Trump wants to just take part of Canada. And don't worry, the Fox News host is on board. Canada should be annexed for oil if we can make them go along with it. So Jesse Waters, my favorite dummy. He is just absolutely this is my favorite fascist. He really is. He's so stupid. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Let's just be clear. We're not going to make Canada the 51st state. We'll make it 51 and 52. You make Western Canada, that'll be Republican. Eastern Canada, that'll be Democrat.
See, it'll be fair, you idiots. Stupid Waldo and his fucking lib shit thinks that it won't be fair. They're going to turn it into two, a red state and a blue state. How are you going to argue with that? dumb, Waldo. God.
So you keep the electoral balance there. So many reasons to make this a state. I think it has the third largest oil reserves in the world.
Oh, a lot.
So that makes us an energy behemoth. It's the most well-educated country in the world because we need a little help in that department.
Why do Americans have a bad education? It's because of you. Jesse, buddy. We could fund education, but you don't want to pay for it, do you?
Talk about mining, agriculture, fishing, AI, tech, real estate, Canada, you name it, they got it. We'll never probably lose another Winter Olympics. We'll have all of their skaters and skiers. Wow. I mean, good luck, Sweden. And they share our cultural heritage. They share our language.
He means white. He means white people.
It's just a no-brainer. Now, I don't know if Canada is going to go along with it, but there's ways to maybe change their opinion.
There's ways to change their opinion, you guys. He's just having a goof. There's ways to change their opinion. The barrel of a fucking gun. I know they skate real fast, but they can't outskate a bullet. Yeah, he's being silly and sarcastic. But what is this? This is it's Schrodinger's asshole, or Schrodinger's racist. You make a slightly racist joke, and if anybody says, "Hey, don't say that. That's disgusting. That's racist," you're like, "No, I was just kidding. I was joking." But if they're like, "Ha, yeah, that's pretty funny," you're like, "Yeah, really? You want some more? I got more of that." Schrodinger's asshole. That's what he's doing. He's testing the waters. He's dipping his toe in this whole fascism thing. What if we just stole somebody else's country? Couldn't that be silly? I mean, unless you're into it. Unless you want to steal somebody's. Do you want to steal somebody's country? Do you want to go steal Canada right now? Dude, we could totally go steal Canada right now. I am on board. I'm on board. Let's do this. That's the problem, 10 past 11. If they are pushed, if Canada says, "Fuck you, you piece of shit," that's a war crime. Jesse Waters says, "Nah, I was just kidding. We were being silly. We were being snarky. We were not being serious at all." And if the American military says they're on board for it and starts drawing up plans, he's like, "Yeah, let's do this. We're doing it. Yeah, we're going." Skating is the physical activity equivalent to nerd shit. I agree with you completely. Probably the nerdiest thing that you can do at the Winter Olympics. Well, we can argue about that. If anybody in chat thinks that there's something more nerd shit than skating at the Olympics, by all means, toss it in there. But I think 10 past 11's got it. Curling? No, curling is way cooler than skating. I'm sorry. It is. The correct announcement would be reporting it in passing without lingering. Yeah, if he wasn't being serious. The biathlon? Dude, you shoot a gun. Yes, Melcidine, you are correct. The journalist perspective would be to say, "Hey, Canada, that sovereign country that has existed for a very long time," Donald Trump is talking about taking them away and making them into America. What that would entail is lots of bloodshed, lots of danger, lots of impugning on their sovereign soil. We don't think that that's a good idea. That's a stupid idea, and the president shouldn't be joking like that. The man who owns nuclear weapons and controls the largest military in the history of the planet shouldn't be joking about stealing countries. That's what an actual journalist would do. I'm not one, sorry. It's not a war crime if you win. Yes. Have you seen how the pistols shoot? Oh, not at people. I don't know. You guys, are we still arguing about the biathlon? Okay. Not even mentioning that the network's opinion, just reporting on what was said. Yeah, exactly. Then moving on to the weather. Okay, and here's the weather. Yeah. I got you. And that would be more like the evening news. But Jesse has to fill up 24 hours. You know, Jesse's 1 hour of a 24-hour news network, and he's got to toss in the jokes. He's got to toss in the jibes. He's got to get everybody excited and having a good time. He wants to be a live streamer. It's just that he doesn't know what live streaming is, and he's not that good. He's probably got somebody in his ear telling him what to say all the time, producers and whatnot. You could do that at live streaming too. I bounce off chat all the time. You guys are funnier than me. But it's a team effort, you know. It's not a war crime if you win. That's hilarious. Good job. You guys are way funnier than me. I'm bringing the politics, and then you're bringing the feelings, and we all make it out together. But him, no, I don't like this. This is gonna go badly. It starts with jokes and silliness and ha ha ha. Wouldn't it be funny if we invaded? And then it leads to this clown testing the waters, and then it leads to martial law. Well, actually, what it leads to is this shit right here. Let's talk about South Korea for a minute. South Korea, opposition parties moved to impeach president over sudden declaration of martial law. Now, what happened in South Korea? The president, at like 10 p.m. at night, came on live TV and said, "Martial law, motherfuckers, I'm in charge. The military's going to get you because the leftists are out to get me." He did a full Alex Jones. The leftists are out to get me, and I'm in charge, and the military's going to arrest you, and they don't need a warrant. After about 2 hours or so of people just freaking out and panicking, and the lawmakers got kicked out of their building because the military wouldn't let them in, he said, let's bring everybody in and we'll have a vote. And then even the people in his party voted, no, you can't do this. The people in his party said, no, we're not going to back you up on this. And then he willingly stepped back and said, okay, fine, I will cancel the martial law. They are now trying to impeach him, which they probably will. That makes sense. Yeah, they said, not tonight, dictator. Absolutely. It wasn't a good thing. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish here. He thought that he had more support, or he didn't think his guys, his own team, was going to turn against him. That would not happen in America. The Republicans will be on board. The Republicans will be on board when Donald Trump declares martial law. I don't know that he's going to do that. What he might do is requisition state National Guards and give them orders of things to do. He will, one of the red states, Tennessee, Florida, Texas, one of those fucking things, will give Donald Trump their state National Guard, and then he will direct that National Guard to do the things he tells them. It's going to be bad. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be worrisome. And that's the closest we're going to get to martial law. I don't think he can do, it's a very big country. I don't think he can do martial law through the entire country. You don't have to worry if you don't have anything to hide. Yeah, good point. There's no possible way that they'll ever arrest anybody incorrectly. There's no way that they'll go after their political opponents when they own the military, and he has this state National Guard that reports directly to him, filled with right-wing nationalists, and then he tells them that Nancy Pelosi's a fucking criminal and they need to go rough her up. That's worst case scenario. But if he did that, would we see Republican senators voting against it? I don't think we will. If he did that, if he has the Kentucky National Guard rough up Nancy Pelosi while she's in D.C. and arrest her, will the Republicans turn on him? No, I don't think they will. South Korea is better than us. Sorry, guys. I really do think that Donald Trump marching down the street with the brown shirts, doing the full Nazi duck walk, would get support from Marjorie Taylor Greene and most of the House, all of the House Republicans and most of the Senate Republicans would support it. They'd still be on board. Merckx, yeah, maybe. If he had his own brown shirts, there was black bagging CNN anchors, they wouldn't stand against it. They would be on board for it. They would cheer and they would high five each other that finally the day of the rope is here. It's what they want. It's what they've been angling towards, but they're not allowed to say it outright. That's the weird thing about fascist rhetoric. They believe it. They know it. They secretly talk about it in anonymous spaces in the deepest parts of the deep web. You can hear the words trickle out of their mouth every now and then when you paste it together. It's a dog whistle. You have to learn to hear those dog whistles. But they can't jump the gun. If they jump the gun, like this guy in South Korea did, he just jumped in way too soon. He didn't have the backing. He didn't have the support of the entire military. He didn't have his entire party in line with what he was about to do. So it failed. And that's good. I like it when fascists fail. Donald Trump might not fail. Ouch, my American exceptionalism. Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? I'm referencing 10. Okay. He needs more clout. Yeah. He needs more clout. You're right. Donald Trump has more clout than this guy. This guy. And since we're on the subject anyway, let's look at Senate Bill 382. This is in North Carolina. North Carolina. A massive power grab created behind closed doors to deliberately undermine the results of the 2024 general election, ramming through a conference report. Sorry, can you guys read that? I gotta make it get bigger. Without member and public input is now not how a free democracy works. And masking this shameful attempt to consolidate power with a partial and grossly inadequate hurricane relief bill, the legislature is prioritizing politics and not the people of North Carolina, especially those still struggling to recover from Hurricane Helene. So, the Republicans of North Carolina, sorry, I keep messing that up somehow, are pushing a hurricane relief bill that takes away all the power from the Democrat governor because he's a Democrat. And it's not written in a way that says governors of North Carolina follow these rules. No, it calls him out by fucking name. It puts his name in the bill, says this guy can't do this anymore because they don't care. They are jumping the gun, or they're the vanguard of what's about to happen. In less than 24 hours after it was introduced, SB 382 passed both chambers of the General Assembly and is being sent to Governor Cooper's office. 30 to 19, 63 to 46 were the votes. If Governor Cooper, the Democrat, vetoes the bill in December, the General Assembly will have the chance to override the veto. They still have enough votes to overdo his veto. The Senate Bill 382 is a massive overhaul of how elections are conducted in North Carolina, so they're changing the elections so that they win every time, which includes slashing the number of days from 9 to 3 that voters have to cure or fix their provisional ballots related to photo ID, registration, and mail-in ballot deficiencies. It transfers oversight of the North Carolina State Board of Elections to the state auditor, a recently elected partisan official. Similar to a previous attempt found unconstitutional, SB 382 removes the governor's power to appoint state board of elections members and county board chairs, granting it to the state auditor instead. And it calls these people out by name. It says Governor Cooper doesn't get to elect the state board of elections. The county board it does instead, or to the county board, and instead the state auditor, Steve, whatever the fuck, gets to do it. And he's a Republican. Also included in this 132-page bill makes it harder for the Attorney General to represent consumers to receive fair treatment from the utility providers that appropriates $500 million to private school vouchers on top of the $850 million that was provided in September. So they're giving their friends money. The reason you would give $500 million to a private school is because you own a private school, or your friends own a private school, or your rich friends who own a private school paid for your campaign and helped you get elected. Let's see. Campaign finance, election administering and oversight, mail-in provisional ballots, judicial appointments. Now this one's fucked. Create 2 special Supreme Court judge positions appointed by the NCGA leadership, while also removing 2 elected Superior Court seats. This follows the unconstitutional trend by certain Attorney General Assembly leaders to appoint certain judges outside of the electoral process. So it's unconstitutional, it's outside of the normal process, and they just passed it through their Senate, and their governor can't do a damn thing about it. Now that they have the power, they rewrite all the rules to benefit themselves. They do not care about you. They do not care about what the stuff. and they will just write new rules to benefit themselves so that they never lose and the Democrats never win. They need to rename this Senate Bill 382 the Heads Republicans Win, Tails Democrats Lose bill, because that's what they're doing. That's the game they're playing. Heads we win, tails you lose. That's all. That's it. That's the whole thing. Waldo, what do you think about us plebs owning firearms? Well, 10 years ago I was more against it than I am now. But I think we're about to get real dystopian up in this motherfucker. I think we're about to get real dangerous if the FBI falls apart and the entire federal government falls apart and the state governments in half the states are full-on fascists, like in North Korea. I mean, North Carolina. Why do I keep saying that? Some sort of slip of the tongue, I see. I used to be more against it when I thought we were a civilization, but that civilization is coming to an end. So I'm more on board for it than I was in the past. It didn't seem like a good idea that you would need a very large rocket launcher to protect yourself from the IRS. They're doing things right, and if you don't want to pay them, it's your fault. You're doing something wrong here. But if the brown shirts and the Gestapo start marching down the street and kick in my door, I'm gonna need one, you know. And it's gonna suck. And I don't want us to lose our society. I liked our society. Was it perfect? No. Did it have problems? Yes. Could it have gotten better? Yes, it could have gotten better. But instead of making it better, slowly, painfully, one step at a time, progressively, we've chosen to roll backwards, roll back down the hill. Because some people at the bottom of that hill liked it. SOF meaning Special Operations Forces like Army Rangers, Delta SEALs, and stuff like that. SOF. Oh, Soldiers of Fortune? MERS? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. I'm supposed to let you guys talk. You're not always speaking directly to me. I'm bad at this chat thing. I'm bad at streaming. But I'm glad you're here for it. I'm glad you are here to watch it with me. I'm about to wrap it up right now. I appreciate everyone who was here. Sorry I wasn't here on Monday. This is the Discord. It has a bunch of new trolls. Some of those trolls that were in chat earlier went to the Discord and pressed the buttons, but I can't see their names because I'm in streamer mode, which means I can't see the names. I don't know who's who. I don't know who to ban. But if somebody needs to be banned on the Discord, please let me know. I'm going to make Valor a mod in Twitch chat. KBP is one in Kick Chat, but he's not here, but that's okay. He's usually not here on Wednesdays. He's got shit to do. And he's on the wrong side of the planet, so it's very late for him. What am I doing? Friday, when I get home from work, I'm going to play Path of Exile 2 for as long as I can until I die. So join me, please, Friday night. Damn near almost passed out, but my name revived me for a second. That's okay. You are in a different time zone as well. For me, it's only 8:49 at night, so I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna go have a snack and then watch some anime. You know, but Friday, I'm gonna get home. Drop it in the YouTube chat, please. Drop what in the YouTube chat? The Discord. Discord. Does that appear? It doesn't. Oh God. Oh my. Oh Jesus. Okay, I can copy. Here we go. We're gonna copy. Then we're gonna pasta. Wait, the robot is just really, really slow? Shit. Dude, look at that slow ass robot. I told it to do the Discord link, and then like 10 minutes later it did. Yeah, YouTube chat's real slow. So there's another link to the Discord. Hop in there, tell us what you think, and tell me what you're feeling. 10 past 11. Feel free to leave links there of interesting stories that you'd like to see covered. Anything you want to talk about, I'll look at it. I'll look at the link. I'll bring it up on screen. We'll talk about it, and we'll feel it together. Friday, Path of Exile 2, all night long until I literally cannot stay awake anymore. It'll be fun. It'll be a great time. I'm looking for somebody to raid. How do I raid people? Is there some Valor? If you're still here, who was that the person that you watch on stream? Can I raid them? I don't know how to do that. I'm not very good at it. I'm not good at stuff. Not live. Okay. All right. Well, I was going to raid it, but that's okay. I don't know anybody else on Twitch that I could raid, do I? Let me load this up. No, I don't. Oh, wait. Is that Gorps? I've raided Gorps Inc. before. Now, how do I do that? How do I do that? Everybody stay here. Raid. Oh, geez. Gorps Inc. Yeah, here we go. And then I hit the button. I think that worked. Good night, everybody. I think that worked. I don't know if that worked or not.